The following is a presentation of BiGGs Media Services.
Go for warmth. Go for beauty. Go for a show. Go for flavor. Go for perspective. Go for love. Go for tranquility. Go for thrills. Go for color. Go for good. Go for Puerto Rico. Go now.
For more information, the website is discoverpuertorico.com.
Are you ready? Time to play the game!
BiGGs Golf Talk for golfers.
You want to hear a nice golf joke? Yeah, I should have showed up and watched me play yesterday. I should be put on Chick Galore or something like that. A team named that. Scramblers. That's it. Scramblers, that's a team I should be on, because I was scrambling for my ball.
There's a golf shot. That's a golf shot.
Hey, when am I going to get the caddy?
The bag is bigger than you.
So?
That white one?
Yeah?
That's the one you're carrying.
Oh, man, that thing's a boat anchor.
I haven't had golf anything since high school.
No, that's you, not me. She likes to enjoy a beverage herself. Is that what you're trying to say?
I might be distracted. That's another story. Golf course and equipment reviews, golf news, guests, and lots of golf humor. When you need to drive for show,
Are you ready?
BiGGs Golf Talk.
I'm special.
Yes, you are, with a helmet.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.
It is showtime, baby! Here we go!
BiGGs Golf Talk is presented by U.S. Golf Challenge with Tito's Handmade Vodka. Whenever you purchase a Tito's Spirit, they give back. Tito's Handmade Vodka, you must be 21 years of age to enjoy a great Tito's beverage. And don't forget about the Tito's 36-hole major that's taking place in August. Meet Bill the Golffather Cuevas and myself live in person at Geneva National Golf Club in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin at the Tito's 36-hole major. It will be a live show from the practice green, and we're looking forward to doing that as well. Sign up right now at BiggsGolfTalk.net or BiggsGolfTalk.com. BGT also sponsored in part by ShotScope, Data is Power, Encore Golf, Photo Ball Marker, McNally 22, Ready Putt, Zalise CBD for golfers, Scorpion 21, Feel the Sting, SQAIRZ Shoes. If Sir Nick Faldo thinks SQAIRZ Shoes is the best footwear in the industry, well, it can square you up and lower your scores. UFO Tour Golf. Oh, check out all the Folds of Honor swag they have at UFO Tour Golf. From head covers to golf bags to apparel, they have it at UFO Tour Golf. Design something for yourself and customize a Folds of Honor bag today. Connect with BiGGs Golf Talk on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Golfballed. Subscribe with us on YouTube and iTunes. We're available in the Google Play Music Store, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all your Amazon devices. Our website is www.biggsgolftalk.net or .com, BIGGS golftalk.net or .com. I am Big John Vick. He is the golf father, Bill Cuevas, the golf diva, Amanda Robertson. Amanda has, I guess, 3/4 of the day off today. She's going to do her segment, but there's some personal things going on, and we certainly want to wish our best out going out to Craig and what's going on in their lives right now. So, Billy, you know, it's a sad day in golf, I guess, just not for their family, but also with close-knit of our family, golf family, that is. Today, as a matter of fact, we are dedicating this show to Jim McWethy. He is the owner and operator at Mistwood Golf Club. And this is from Mistwood Golf Club's Facebook page. It is with extreme personal sadness that we inform you Mistwood owner Jim McWethy has passed away. Peacefully with his family by his side, each of us grieves at the loss of a tremendous individual, and our thoughts and prayers are with his wife and the McWethy family at this difficult time. Jim loved Mistwood deeply. Not only was he indescribably proud of what Mistwood had become, but he was genuinely and continually thankful for each and every person who stepped foot on the property. It made Jim so happy to hear stories from guests who had positive experiences at Mistwood and McWethy's. And Bill, that is no different from you and I each time we visited Mistwood, the Mistwood Dome, Mistwood Country Club, and McWethy's Bar and Grill.
Yes. I mean, he always made us feel welcome. We've gone there, 3-4 times, participated in different events. He's been part of the tours that we've done. He's took us to the underground where they cook and they do everything, and gave us a lot of the ins and outs of his vision, where he was taking it from the dome, how he kept growing it. I mean, he did a phenomenal job. It was semi-private. But it always had that pure country club, but affordability for everyone. And that's why I love doing it.
I would say, and I said this in our last conversation with him, as a matter of fact, we're going to revisit that conversation with Jim McWethy here on Big's Golf Talk, and we're dedicating this show to Jim McWethy. I called him a god, and yes. I believe in the brand of Mistwood, he is a god. And yes. Now he's going to be an angel looking over everything.
Yes. He's done so much for Mistwood and that whole community. You know what I mean? And everybody there that we've met. I mean, even Andy Mickelson, he grew up from Bag Boy, taking the bags.
Cart boy, yeah.
Yes. And even the other guy that was like a GM, one of the other pros that we've had the honor of meeting. So that family was there for years and years and years. A lot of them have been there. We did try to reach out to see if we get somebody on, and we understand that we couldn't do it at such short notice, but we definitely want to get somebody on later on. We're going to keep Mistwood alive.
Let's revisit that conversation with Jim McWethy just last year here on Big's Golf Talk. The moment you pull into the parking lot, you know you were in something special.
Yeah, I mean, when you come in and you see the castle that greets you,
yes,
you get taken back into time, and then you just look at the beautifulness of the greens, and they're working all around it. But it's just breathtaking, the views, no matter how you look and where you look.
Absolutely.
Which is especially for Illinois. I was quite surprised. Coming from Florida, I don't think our conditions right now are half as good as what they have here.
I'll tell you what, in Wisconsin, we're just right up north.
Yeah.
The conditions on any golf courses up there are not the type of good condition that up there. Let's not waste any more time. I want to introduce our first guest from the Mistwood Experience. His name is Jim McWethy. He is the owner. He is the god of Mistwood Golf Club. And Jim, welcome into Big's Golf Talk, my friend.
Hey, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I am not called God very often. Thank you.
We shall refer to you as God.
Jim, Billy and I just touched on how great the course looks.
Thank you. We got a great superintendent acquired the course. So long-term passionate about it. And
how long ago did you acquire the club?
I was a minority shareholder starting in 1998.
Okay.
I became the sole owner in 2003.
Because I've seen the transformation done and the improvements that you've done. Did you have this sort of envisionment back when you were a minority holder? What made you decide so you know what? I don't want to answer. I'm going to decide what
to answer it and say that I had the whole thing planned out. It was a step at a time and an evolution. When I was a minority shareholder, I didn't really have any expectations of being the sole owner, but and I was only 7%. I didn't really have a voice in what was done. But it just ran into tough financial times after about 5 years, and my choice was walk away and lose my investment, or the more expensive option was to become the sole owner, which I did, and I never looked back, never regret it.
There's nothing to regret.
No.
I mean, you took a chance and a big risk in a time where most people would, and I mean, we have. When they said, "Do you want to do a media event in Illinois?" I don't know if I say it the right way, and they were like, "Mistwood." I was like, "I'm there," and I'm in Florida. I'm not local. Most of the guys that are here are local.
Yeah.
I flew into Chicago. I don't miss any. Even when you did the Dome, I mean the vision that you've had and the way you've grown it and the different things that I see every time I come. I want to come because I want to see what else you did.
What's next?
Because it's cool the way everything just blends in when you get here. Besides the breathtaking views and the bridges and the lake, or I don't know what they call you guys, the lake and the different kind of rocks and all that stuff you have. everything that you have is different, but yet it all blends perfectly.
Yeah, it turned out. I don't want to sound braggish because
no, you can. You have the right.
but I am delighted with the way it's all fit together and turned out. And I would love to say that this is my long-range plan starting 15 years ago. It was more of an evolution.
Yeah.
We started off by redoing a green here and there, a tee here and there. And then the funny story is it is kind of funny, we were planning to build a new clubhouse, and we had it ready to go, ready to bid. And then our architect, Ray Hearn, reminded me that it was too close to the number 3 green.
Oh.
So well, now what do we do? So we said, well, let's talk about redesigning number 3 hole. And he showed me several options. And, of course, the one I picked was the one that was the most radical. And that would mean we would lose that hole for the season.
Ooh.
And I wasn't really that overjoyed with the design on the clubhouse. It was great, but not what I really wanted.
Yeah.
So we made a complete pivot and said, okay, with the clubhouse on the back burner, we're going to do a total renovation of the golf course. So that's how that happened. I said, if we're going to have one hole screwed up for a whole season, let's just screw up the whole golf course. So we timed it so that we closed a little bit early the first year, opened a little bit late. Then we had a golf season, and then we closed a bit early and opened a bit late the next season. And presto, it was done.
So patience.
Yeah.
Well, as a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, though, when you opened up that first year that you renovated, it was like June or July, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was not as early as we would like.
Yeah. It was pretty middle season of summer.
Yeah.
And that's why
but then the accolades came in. Holy cow.
Yeah.
All the awards that we won.
And that's what these people are. This is a public golf course.
Yes.
And
as a matter of fact, right now, Billy, if you see, we have a handicap golfer that's out there with those handicap cards out there.
Yeah. Saw it when I came in.
You know, and that says a lot for Mistwood. I mean, they cater to all levels of golfers.
Everybody. It's perfect.
And that's pretty special to see that right now on the golf course. This type of cart is he obviously can't walk.
Yes.
Right. So he actually uses this cart, and the seat kind of stands him up.
Yeah.
He makes his swing. He sits back down and drives off and goes on to the next hole.
Yeah.
But just to see that type of thing on the golf course has to make you feel really special.
Yeah. I had dinner here last night with my wife and some friends, and we sat in a view table overlooking the course. And I had trouble paying attention to my guests.
Yes.
Because I kept looking out the window and thinking to myself, holy cow.
I can see how easily distracted you are.
And I was going to ask, I was going to ask you that because every time I come here, it just seems like it's a new, fresh view. Even though I know the bridge is there, I'm going to see.
Yeah.
But it just looks fresh and renewed every time you come here. How is it, you being the owner? I'm looking at it, I was like, wow. I am so glad to come here and golf here and participate this one day. I'm looking forward to it. But you get to see this whenever you want.
Sure.
And you just
not often enough.
You don't take it for advantage of it. You're like, no, my God. I was here last night with my wife and my friends, and I'm mesmerized by what you see.
Yeah.
So that's incredible that you could still experience that, owning it and seeing it.
It is. It's the best therapy in the world.
Yeah.
It really is. Just being here and. This is maybe straying a bit, but I expected a lot of nice, satisfied feelings with what we did. The one that really got me the most and kind of choked me up was one I never saw coming, and that was when the clubhouse was built, and we had an event here. It was a dinner. It was actually the Italian Americans Club from Carillon, the little seniors development down the street. And it was November. The clubhouse had just opened. Our first event, and I was driving down Renwick Road in the dark, and I saw the parking lot full. And it may not be a big deal to most people, but our parking lot full in the wintertime is something.
Yeah.
And then when I walked into the clubhouse and walked into the room and saw 200 and some very happy feeling that almost took me to my knees.
Yeah.
To see that I didn't see that coming. I saw the golf course, and to be that blown away by a
Well, that's what we talk about that off air. How you guys have you got it covered. You've evolved to where anybody that talks, Chicago, Illinois, any kind of major area, they would never think that this gem would be here.
Yeah.
And what you've created. Yeah. When it doesn't matter wintertime, we go indoors. We have the dome. You guys were the first one with truck.
Isn't that cool?
Yes, we did that too.
12 months a year.
Yes.
Golf. And the dome, I think, its final day for the season, I think, was yesterday. I think we had a day with nobody came, or a handful came, and we did.
Came here was packed. We made a special trip just to cover the dome and do all the stuff.
Oh, it was.
It's beautiful
in the wintertime. It's basically a waiting list a good chunk of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
It's so nice to make that transition as soon as the weather turns crappy and the golf course is about to close. We've got an alternative, and with Top Tracer, it's a really good alternative.
Oh, it's a deal.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like no other dome in the United States. As a matter of fact, you guys being the first dome to have Top Tracer in it.
Yeah.
So
as Top Tracer evolves, so do you guys.
Yes.
So they're having new courses, so people, it's not going to get stale. It can't get stale because they changed up how to putt.
Yeah.
Now you got different venues that you can play on, so it's going to stay fresh. And here, that's huge.
And we're constantly freshing.
Yeah.
You'll probably notice when you play the course today that there's some subtle changes. A number of trees removed.
Will I play better?
Well,
you said subtle, or will I play bad?
They're probably not significant enough. No,
to help me. I know. I hear that a lot.
But we removed all the ugly cottonwoods around the 8th tee. We opened up the area in front of 18th tee.
Okay.
And then some other little areas that were just kind of scraggly, messy, overgrown with junk trees. We're cleaning them up, and we got a few more on our schedule. So we're going to try to do a little bit every year.
But it's also a testament here that I've noticed every time we come here, we see familiar faces.
Yes.
We've talked to Dan the Man many times. He's going to be a guest later on. Your general manager, Andy Mickelson.
Right.
These men have been here since they were basically kids.
Yes.
They've grown up here.
No.
And they don't leave.
No. Dan and Andy, and actually Dan Phillips, go back to the bag drop.
Yeah.
Literally to the bag drop before I was the sole owner.
Yeah.
And what a team we have.
I was just going to ask you how important. I mean, you being the owner, you've dished the money out, that you've gotten the work done, but it's nothing compared. I mean, it wouldn't be so successful if it wasn't for a great team.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, going back to when I decided to make the change, became the 100% owner. At that time, there were 3 key people there. One of them remains. Dan Phillip remains. The other 2 we've parted ways with, not on a bad terms.
Right.
But the deal was, I will not move forward with this unless you 3 guys agree to stay. And of course they did. They loved the course. They loved everything about it and wanted to continue. And they were heartbroken when it looked like it was an unknown where it was going to go if I didn't step up. So that worked out beautifully. And, of course, Dan Phillips is still here. And Dan Bradley was not full-time with us at that time. And Andy Michelson was he was with us, and then he went to work somewhere else and came back.
Yeah.
So it's a big magnet here. It's really hard to leave this place.
Well, you guys have been
and
growing.
The hospitality is 300%. I mean, right on point.
Your staff, even you know what it was good when you come here, Biggs, and you get greeted by the kids that are working, the bag drop and everything. It's like I go to a lot of courses, and a lot of them don't look happy.
They're like, I'm at work today.
Yeah, I'm working now.
But it seems like that the staff here enjoy their job.
They do.
They like it.
They do.
We got to meet one of your other staff that was walking back and forth and actually enjoyed working and wanted to continue walking back and forth. Because it's such a beautiful day and it was enjoying it.
There's a lot of wonderful things about Mistwood. Physical, the course, the buildings.
Yep.
The culture may be the biggest asset that we have. The people and the attitude and the quality of service in a very general sense. And everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And it's nice because a place that has happy, dedicated people is a magnet
Yes.
for other people. And I was talking to one of the women that works in the tavern last night, and she's been with us for a little bit less than a year, and it was just wonderful to hear because she is so excited, and she's worked at all of our locations.
That's awesome.
So it sort of evolves, and it couldn't be a better system.
We have about 60 seconds here. One thing I wanted to ask you as the owner, what is your signature hole for you?
Oh my God! The way it's probably 14. 14, but that's a really hard question that you've asked me. Because
they're all his babies.
No,
they all have love in it.
It really is tough. I suppose 14.
Okay,
but my God, and there's some holes that have. It's changed.
Yes.
I like number 2 a lot now. It sort of floats around. Number 2 was not a favorite. And we added the 2 big stacked sod bunkers, kind of like nostrils out there. I like number 2 a lot. It sounds funny to say, but there's not a hole here I don't like.
See that?
And
every hole has its own personality.
I'm gonna let you know which hole I like the best.
Which?
I don't know. I gotta go golf. Well, I'm gonna go golf because you changed everything subtly. I want to go look at the nostrils. I want to see all the stuff that's changed. Yeah. I can't tell you I like this one when you already changed it.
Try to stay out of the nostrils, will you? Because you might be in there for a couple shots.
Well, if I want to do that, I got to aim for the nostrils. Because you know how that goes. You aim for it, you're going to miss it. So I'm going to intentionally go for the nostrils.
I think the one thing that does set us apart is many courses have holes that look sort of similar to each other. There is no chance of that happening here. None. Zero.
I agree.
Everything is unique.
It is.
So we've
and so is the owner.
That was a conversation that we had with Jim McWethy last year here on Biggs Golf Talk as we visited the Mistwood experience. And Billy, I'll tell you what, the guy was so friendly, and he's just like any other guy. And that was what's so phenomenal about that conversation.
Yeah, he is. He's. I love him, man. I mean, he made everybody feel special. You know what I mean? I enjoy talking to him over their famous fried potato chips and stuff like that. I mean, he loved that community.
Yeah, he did.
Loved that place, and his soul was put in there.
Well, we want to send out our condolences, our prayers out to the McWethy family and Mistwood family as well. Yes. And all I have to say to Mistwood, carry on his legacy. Carry on his legacy. More Biggs Golf Talk coming your way. And coming up next, it is On Par with Amanda. I believe she has a special guest with her. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey everyone, Biggs Golf Talk is now on iHeartRadio. Download the app for free or go to iHeart.com and search for Biggs Golf Talk. Be sure to save us as a favorite so that you'll know when we're on. Join the millions of iHeartRadio listeners and listen to Biggs Golf Talk. Golf Talk for golfers.
The United States Golf Challenge, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, is searching for the country's best two-player teams to compete against International Field in the 54-hole Ryder Cup style event, known as the International Kings Cup, played in honor of golf's greatest ambassador, Mr. Arnold Palmer.
The 6th annual edition of the International Kings Cup will be contested in May 2021 at the Glasson Golf Club in Ireland.
The road to the Kings Cup begins with a national qualifier. Two-player teams compete in an 18-hole qualifier playing best ball using net scoring. The top 30% and ties at each qualifier will be invited to the USGC National Championship. Winning teams at national qualifiers have a chance to receive a free $950 team entry into the event.
With an open and a senior division, each having 4 flights, teams of all skill levels will compete for a spot on Team USA. The winning team from each flight at the United States Golf Challenge National Championship will be crowned and win the expense-paid trip to the Glasson Golf Club in Athlone, Ireland, as part of Team USA.
Do you have what it takes? For more information, the website is usgolfchallenge.com for all the details. That's usgolfchallenge.com.
This is a commercial for golfers. Take the next step to improving your game with ShotScope and discover your strengths and weaknesses. Analyze statistics on your clubs, tee shots, approaches, short game, and putting. ShotScope V2 is the golf watch that combines GPS distances with automatic performance tracking. Once you have it, you won't want to play around without it. Check out ShotScope.com to take your game to the next level.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another week with On Par with Amanda. Thanks for tuning in to Big's Golf Talk. We love having you here and hearing all the craziness going on in the golf world. This week, once again, I have a very special guest who just couldn't get enough of me, so he had to come back for week 2, Mr. Bill Cuevas, the Golf Father. Hello.
Hi. I don't know about that statement. If that statement's true, I'm going to have to be on every weekend.
Every week. I know.
Yes.
Well, I want to talk about something that a lot of people have been asking me about. As we know, COVID has kind of produced this no fans situation for the tournament players. And me as a pro golfer, I've experienced bigger crowds. I've experienced no crowds on the mini tours. And so I want to chat about, is it easier to focus and play without fans, or is it easier to play with them because the guys are already used to it? And which way do you feel is better? So I have my thoughts, and
do you want my thoughts first, or do you want yours first?
It's up to you, Mister.
Do you want the right thought, or do you want the bad thought first? Where we could go, the respectful way. It's yours. We let you can go first. Or
I better go first on that.
Okay, you go first. All right. Yes.
So let's start with. I have always found that I've played better with a crowd. Now, granted, I have not experienced the crowd levels that the PGA Tour, the LPGA have, had. But when people come to support and watch, I don't know if it makes me. I think it makes me focus a little bit more because I'm wanting to kind of rally for these people and kind of put on a show. So I have always felt like if I have somebody that I know is there watching me, I'm excited. I'm like, okay, today I'm going to go low. I'm going to make birdies. And like I said, we are in the entertainment business, even though it is. So for me, I have noticed over my career that it is definitely, I think it's easier to focus when you have someone to focus for. And so that's kind of where I'm standing and I'm holding my position, but I want to just tell everyone out there, no, I have not competed where there are thousands and thousands of people around. So I can't vouch for that, but I can vouch for having an audience and playing under pressure.
Yeah. I mean, some of these pros that we're referring to don't have thousands of people in there either, because I mean, I've gone to the events and it depends who's in the field and who they want to follow. So certain people can shut it out, aren't you? I would assume that they're trained. So I don't know if it would be easier per se. And I did watch that on the last 2 events that I've had. One of the on several different occasions where the golfer has been more distracted because there's no fans. He's been more distracted by the people working around to do the TV, so we can watch the TV. He's been more distracted by the people that are running the event, because now when you have 1,000 people, you can, I think you might be able to blur it out. You know what I mean? So I think the focus would be easier, but apparently without the fans, the majority of them you could hear them when they're mic'd up complain. Oh my God. And then you hear somebody catch, hey, you're right in the middle of his shot and you're moving and you're doing this and you're doing that. So where otherwise those people would be camouflaged or they'd be non-existent because you got everybody else in the crowd.
Right.
Now everything is, I think everything's louder than when the fans are there.
Oh,
I think it's
100%.
Yeah, I think it's noisier. Can you focus more? How do you focus more if you're used to blocking all those fans out? I think you're right. The fans would help you focus more. You know what I mean? Because you're not focusing on the fans. You're focusing on your next shot. So I don't know if it's pure golf of just focusing on it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I'm like on the fence because I want to argue with you because I like arguing. I don't want to.
But you know I'm right, so you can't.
Oh no, you're never gonna hear those words from me. You're right. No, maybe not. But I it's kind of hard because you have pros saying it, other pros don't like it. And if that was the case, that we're gonna play better and it's easier to do this and all that other stuff, why aren't there fans going to be allowed? Why is the Ryder Cup canceled now?
Right.
Because there's no fans. So if you're not allowing fans and the players weren't happy about it, how are they happy about it now that they're not there?
Well, and you're exactly right, because the Ryder Cup, a lot of people were saying, well, what's the point of us even going out and playing? I don't want to play without fans. But you have someone like Jordan Spieth, whom you and I were talking about earlier. So Spieth said it is easier to focus without fans. He said there's one significant difference in not having spectators lining the fairways and surrounding each green. He said, in general, it is easier to win on the PGA Tour without fans. That's what I've seen the first couple weeks. He told. So he's basically saying it's easier to just be zoned in on golf and golf alone. Now,
this is the same guy that 2 weeks ago said that he needs to golf better. He just needs to remember to have fun.
Yeah, right.
So if you just need to have fun.
Sure. And now I will say so we know the events like the waste management or certain events that are, I guess, a rowdier crowd based.
Yes.
So they're
geared for that. They're geared for the crowd.
You're going, but you know what you're going into ahead of time. And that's not the norm. That's the 1 or 2 events a year. Yes. For the normal ones, you don't have at the waste management, you have distractions, you have drunk people, you have people throwing stuff onto the fairways and the greens and all of that. But like you said, they know what they're going into for that tournament. It's just kind of what it is.
Yes.
But when you're in a normal golf tournament, that stuff is not happening. You're not having people with flash photography. You're not having people throwing beer cups onto the fairway.
Yeah.
So it is weird because, like you said, so many people commented, what's the point of a Ryder Cup without fans? We're protesting and not going to play.
Yeah. And it's the truth. But then you go, if it's easier and more focused, why aren't the scores outrageous?
Right.
Why aren't there more?
Right. And he says without any fans and roars and all that kind of stuff that make an impact, then the settings on the last few holes that you normally get is a very different feel. Now, I agree with that. I mean, because so I've heard pro golfers talk about, so like if I'm on hole 6 and I'm coming around and I hear the roar of the crowd on 18, because someone's finishing, I know something major happened.
Yes.
So, and then you hear the roar. So can you imagine following Tiger around where he got on a hot birdie eagle streak for 4 or 5 holes and they're roaring. The crowd is just going nuts. The whole way in, I'm going, well, crap. Like, what am I going to do? But so I do agree with that. It changes the dynamic, but that's
with anything in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, basketball, last 2 minutes of the game.
Right.
If it's close, that's what matters in golf. The last 3 holes, as we even saw last weekend, it went down to the last 3 holes. And the thing is, those golfers towards the back actually got to see the score. They actually got to know what the other golfers were doing. Where normally with all the fans and everything else and all the hoopla, you wouldn't have been afforded that opportunity. And why do we have so many people that are on the bottom side rising to the top? You know what I mean? You have guys that are not even used to it. So are the guys that play on tour, I mean, with the exception of Webb Simpson, he played phenomenal towards the end. And the other guy actually lost it on his own because he gave it up. But I think a lot of the people that were playing, most people won't even know their names. Who was in the top? You know what I mean?
No.
So is that to say that the people that don't know any better and people that we don't know are going to play better because there's no crowd?
Right. Well, and I guess that the only other thing Spieth had mentioned was he said, so when he was playing Saturday and Sunday's round, it felt like a Thursday round. So the pressure of it being the weekend and past the cut, but I've always felt differently. I've felt that if I make it past the cut and I make it to the weekend, like not that the pressure's off, but the pressure's off. I'm in the money. So whatever I do from here on out, I want to play aggressive. I want to go after it because I want to try to get up the leaderboard. I'm definitely, once you make the cut, you don't have to be as reserved. Yes. So, yes, the dynamic changes with or without fans, but I think the overall thing is it easier to focus? And I don't know. I don't know either. Again, like you said, they're so used to blocking a sea of people out. When it's empty, all of a sudden
Thursday,
you're noticing.
All of a sudden you have to, but you figure Thursday and Friday, most of the times is when the least amount of crowds are coming. That's when they're going to spend less time. Everybody's gearing up Friday, late Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Everybody wants to be there for the weekend. So you're going to have more of the hoopla. But, Thursday and Friday is when you should be playing your best golf to make sure that you make it into Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, you do play a little more conservative.
Yeah, why would you ease up? Your focus should be more, not less, because the crowds are bigger. The crowd shouldn't even play a factor. If anything, if it plays a factor, you should be feeding off of it, not the crowd feeding off of you. It should be different. You should I'm going to do it. Because the crowds aren't there making the noise until after you get the shot.
Yep.
So,
agreed.
Even this weekend, I heard some of the crazy stuff. Get in the hole, and I'm like, where's that one voice that just echoed throughout the whole thing? So people live around the golf courses, people are on the water, but it's different. It's a different atmosphere sitting at home and having them. Oh my God, have you ever seen that water that high? I've never seen it that high. High tide is high
No,
today.
and it does. I think your focus, you're exactly right. It's more directed towards the things that you wouldn't typically notice. With that said, we love having you on the segment On Par with Amanda. Guys, make sure you are tuning in week after week to get your fill of golf, and write in A Robertson Golf on Instagram, or you can write into Biggs Golf Talk, BIGGS, BiggsGolfTalk@gmail.com. We love to hear from you week after week. Thanks again, the Golf Father, and we will see you. Until next time, keep swinging for par.
Having a corporate or charity golf event? Backswing Golf Events can supply your tournament with personable, professional golfers to entertain and fundraise on the golf course. They can accommodate any size group, whether it be 3 players to 500. They are your team. From range lessons, Beat the Pro, and Pro-Am style roaming, they're making lasting memories one swing at a time. So make sure to check out BackswingGolfEvents.com or call us direct at 661-316-3093 and book your pros now.
In the folded flag, we see the heavy price of freedom. Nearly 9 out of 10 dependents of America's fallen and disabled soldiers do not qualify for federal scholarship assistance. The Folds of Honor closes that gap, already providing over 10,000 scholarships. Join us in this noble mission. Donate today at foldsofhonor.org. This is your call to duty.
Golf is a dirty game. It's time to clean it up with Ready Pot, the only putter cover with a built-in ball cleaner and magnetic surface. Clean balls roll accurately, meaning you make more putts. Sink more, swear less. Clean up your game with Ready Pot.
Welcome back to Biggs Golf Talk right here on Native Family Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all your Amazon devices. Our website is www.biggsgolftalk.net or .com. Big John Vick, along with the golf founder, Bill Cuevas, here on Biggs Golf Talk. Billy, always wondered what the 3 question words are. What is life? Well, let me tell you about what is life on the golf course. What is life on the golf course is making sure that you're able to square up and hit your shots down the fairways. Square up on the putting green and make those 1-putts. Lower those scores. Well, who else wants to square up? SQAIRZ announces partnership with iconic golfer Sir Nick Faldo. SQAIRZ, the first breakthrough performance golf shoe in generations, which, by the way, Bill the Golffather Cuevas and myself first discovered at the 2020 Demo Day PGA Merchandise Show, met with the owner, the CEO, the toilet cleaner, the guy that cleans the hallways, vacuums the floors, and we told him that this is going to revolutionize the footwear industry, and certainly it has. They have announced a long-term partnership with legendary golfer Sir Nick Faldo. You guys know Nick Faldo. But extending beyond a traditional endorsement, Sir Nick is also investing in the company. That's how good this company is. And will feature SQAIRZ in his 18 Pars Entertainment original series called Faldo Formula. Now we have the CEO and founder of SQAIRZ Golf on the program with us. We have had him before on the program. He's a sponsor here on Biggs Golf Talk. Let's square it up with the founder, Robert Winskowitz, here on Biggs Golf Talk. Bobby!
How are you, gentlemen? Good to see you again.
Hey. Don't be cussing on our show.
All right. Well, listen, nothing but gentlemen to me.
Bobby, let me ask you this. I mean, this has been months and months, and I'm sure weeks, hours in, getting and meeting with Sir Nick Faldo. I'm sure you have had many hours with the gentleman himself. Tell us all about one Sir Nick Faldo and SQAIRZ Shoes.
Well, first of all, I'll tell you the story of how it all came to be, which I find to be very interesting. So as Sir Nick would tell you that he was working with his trainer, and they're trying to do some balancing techniques and some balancing exercise where he stands on one foot, swings his other foot behind him, puts his arm straight out, and tries to do what he calls the flamingo, just to establish balance. Well, he was doing it in his bare feet. He didn't have much balance and stability, so he decided to put on a tennis shoe. And when he did that, he found as though he could balance a little more. So he immediately finished his exercises and went and Googled the most stable golf shoe in golf. And guess what came up? Well, SQAIRZ came up. And so he reached out to his agent, Jeremy Eisenberg at Octagon, and said, Jeremy, can you get me a couple of these pairs of shoes? So we got an email. We sent the shoes, and about 3 weeks later, we had a Zoom call with Sir Nick. And we get on, and he asked me to give a detail of the shoe and explain everything about it. And he leaned back in his chair, and he said, these are the best golf shoes I have ever worn. And he said, you got it spot on, that the golf swing is built from the ground up.
We've said that. I mean, you heard us, Bob. I mean, every time we've had you on, we always say it starts at the bottom and works its way up. And balance is certainly, something. And being able to be square with the target line and square with your shot also helps you with follow through. It helps you with weight transfer. And the best part of it is Nick Faldo not only believes that this is the best golf shoe he's ever worn, but now, and at some point, you guys discussed a financial thing with him, and now he's actually a partner.
That's true. But, what's interesting, John, is that after the call, we flew out to Texas, to Dallas, to film the commercials and to meet with him and talk about the shoe. Well, what we also did, and really this is the first time that I'm releasing this, is that we also flew Gene Parenti, who is the founder of Golf Labs. Yep. We flew Gene out for 2 days of testing. And so what we did is we had a group of amateur golfers as well as Sir Nick. And we had them wear their shoes, which in the portfolio of shoes, competitive shoes, was an Echo, a FootJoy, a Michael Jordan, and an Adidas. And so what we did is we had Gene independently test all of these golfers. And they hit shots with their shoes, and then they hit shots with SQAIRZ. And some of the interesting revelations here were, first and foremost, is number one is balance and stability. When you talk about that, a lot of people stop after they say it, but they don't continue on and say, well, what does that afford the golfer? Well, Sir Nick says you can't find balance during the swing.
Right.
It has to start at the beginning. That's number one. Number two is it translates into where you're hitting the ball on the club. So that correlates to better face strikes, which means accuracy, and it means distance. So we saw that after testing, people had more consistent sweet spot strikes with SQAIRZ than they did the competitive brands. Now, nobody would have ever thought of that. So number two is, here's the averages. On average, people picked up 2.2 miles per hour in swing speed versus the competitive shoes, and 4.8 miles per hour in ball speed. And we saw distance increases from approximately 3.5 yards all the way up to 18 yards, depending on the golfer. So we saw an increase. Exactly right, Bill. We saw an increase in ball speed, club speed, and distance. And Nick sat there and he's shaking his head. He said, who would have ever thought that a golf shoe can give you more ball speed, club head speed, and better accuracy? And
I'm living proof. I'm living proof of that. And Bill will tell you.
He's actually hitting the ball farther.
I am.
I said it the first time I saw him in your shoes, right in Orlando, in Orange County, when he swung and he can stay upright, the flamingo, as you were calling it. I was like, what? And actually a shoe that actually fit him. So we're getting into the mechanics, we're getting into the more yardage, but we're not touching on the comfort. We're not talking on the style. We're not talking on the fact that everything that you could want. I got shoes that, I might have stability, but I don't have the comfort. I get the sand in my shoes. They get wet. I'm a dew sweeper, everything. So everything that I used to have to worry with and battle with and changing shoes, changing socks midway through because my socks were soaked, because my shoes got wet or there was dirt inside, or your shoes having to tie them like BiGGs multiple times. Everything happened and everything changed all in one day.
You know what? You know what? I appreciate that. And I will tell, you guys know it, and I tell everybody who'll listen to me, you guys were the first ones that you saw it right out of the box. You said, my God, you listen to the story, you shook your head and you said, this is it, and really it was the start. And in fact, you guys recall that you were so impressed. You said, tomorrow morning, I want you on our radio show live from the PGA show. You guys jumped on this faster and immediately than anybody else. Now, the other thing on comfort, Billy, I want to tell you a little about is, so we sent Sir Nick the shoes, and he's done a couple of interviews, and he mentions the story that he got the shoes, and being a golf nerd, and somebody who's always about technical aspects of the swing, he got them. He immediately put them on. He says, I walked around the house. I did all of my exercise with them. I walked the dogs down to the beach and back, and I kept them on for the whole time. Then I went out and I hit balls, and he said, these are the most comfortable shoes I have ever worn. So, and he put him through its paces before, you've got a guy who's got such a great brand. He's known as a fierce competitor. He's got 6 majors, over 40 tour wins. He's very well respected on broadcasts and his opinions and thoughts. He's got a great brand. And he's not going to jeopardize that for
Hall of Famer. He's a World Golf Hall of Famer. So
he's all. I mean, we actually. I know I got to speak with him during a Tour Edge event in Orlando. He was actually there. He actually came out and actually talked because of the golf course he's affiliated with as well. So and now that we know somebody, now he's affiliated with the same shoe company that we are. We might have to get him on this show. He might want to talk with us. I think that would be an awesome thing to have him on and get everything, because we know exactly what he's talking about. We're experiencing everything. The only thing that I'm waiting for is for SQAIRZ to go into the regular shoe business as well, because I want, it's sad and happy and bitter and everything all at the same time, because when I take them off, I'm sad. I go from my
Billy, we're working on something right now.
Wait a minute, is this going to be breaking news here on Biggs Golf Talk from SQAIRZ?
I will just tell you that we are working on something right now that you can, after the round, take your shoes off, and then from that point forward, you're going to feel that continuous comfort. And I'm holding back here, Big John. I'm holding back.
Well, you hold back.
This is called a tease.
Well, what I'm going to say is, how come I'm not part of it yet? Why am I still on the outside looking in?
Really,
and we're going to have to fix it. Huh?
Biggs has been wearing his now for a month. You got to be nice to me. He's nice to me. You're not.
I wear mine. You don't even get to play like me. I wear them twice a week, at least. Sometimes 3 or 4 times a week. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing. You get to wear your SQAIRZ golf shoes. I get to wear this other product every minute of the day as I wake up.
Correct.
No, because you know why, Bob? Because the rest of the country can't see it, but you can see that I'm wearing an iWatch, right?
Yep.
And Biggs also has an iWatch, and me and Biggs are on our iFit stuff, right? So Biggs and I are totally two different. You see, where I average about maybe 7, 8, 10 miles a day of walking and running, he doesn't. So who do you want to have them?
Hey, I get 7, 8 miles. I get 7, 8 miles a week.
No, you get 7 or 8 feet to refrigerator. Don't cut that thing about lying here, bro. You know it. I've already done 2. I've already done yoga. I've done plyo. Come on, man.
Wow.
My feet. Bob, I can show you my feet. I got calluses everywhere because the shoes don't fit. That's why I'm telling you, I need that comfort for my everyday. Not just on the golf course. I need it all the time because I got blisters on the side of my toes. I got a huge blister on the ball of my foot. And you know what? When I wear the SQAIRZ, I don't have the problems with it. I put on my other shoes and I'm done. You know what I mean? Like when I do this stuff now, I do it barefoot because I feel better because that's the closest I can feel to doing anything.
What's interesting is that when we started this, when you think back to when Echo launched in 2009, really their popularity was because they were trying to say to the golfer that if you want comfort, you can have it. But what they were also saying is you can't have comfort in spikes. And they were saying that spikes were not comfortable. And to be candid with you guys, I really believe since 2009, golf footwear manufacturers haven't done the golfers any favors. They took away spikes, which spikes, if you look at our testing versus the spikeless shoes, and you can pick up 2.2 miles per hour in swing speed and 4.8 miles per hour in balls, that tells you that ground connection is paramount. That's where you get distance from, you get balance from. So if you take away your spikes, your foot are moving through the swing. You're going to slip.
Right.
You're not going to have connection. You're not going to generate that torque and distance. Number 2 is they went to lightweight. What does lightweight really mean? Lightweight means putting materials in with less structure. Less structure means that your foot is still moving back and forth in that shoe. It's twisting. It's doing things that the foot wasn't really meant to do in the golf swing. You want it to be in that shoe with a lot of structure so all the energy is transferred to the shot and not up and down your ankles and your knees. So I looked at, when we designed this, we looked at what happened in golf footwear, and it really shouldn't be a surprise to many people because 65% of the business is occupied by global sneaker companies. So, if you could just take spikes off, you could take structure out, you can make the cost of that shoe peanuts and still sell it for the price point, increase the margins. But at the end of the day, you're not giving the golfer a golf shoe. You're giving them a sneaker with nubs. And really, the golf swing requires a good golf shoe that can facilitate the keels. And we've proven this. There's been proof now by independent labs about performance and distance, balance, club face strikes, all of that stuff.
And I agree, because I see the guys that I play with on the weekends and stuff like that. And some of the people, you literally see them because of the dew that we have here in Florida so much, slipping.
Yeah.
They're falling out right out of their shot. One guy that I know, he drives the ball almost 300 yards. But 1 minute, if he can stay without slipping, it'll go straight. As soon as his feet fall out from him, it's left, it's right, it's out. I mean, I've seen him hit it across the highway in streets just because he doesn't have that stability.
Right.
So,
and I remember when we met at the PGA show, I think we collectively came up with a thought process of changing the narrative in golf. That, look, golf shoes are equipment.
Yes.
They are. And you know, on your show, if you go back and listen to that tape, we kind of evolved to that thinking, which was, look, it's been overlooked. It's been out there as a fashion statement. It's been relegated to an accessory. But think about it. Your hands hold the club and your feet connect with the ground. There's no two more important things than your hands and your feet throughout the golf swing.
Right.
And yet the feet have been overlooked as an area for the key fundamentals.
Mm-hmm. And you know what I really loved when I first saw your shoes, I looked at Big's feet and I looked at him. I said, you know what, bro? I was like, for the first time ever, it looks like you're wearing golf shoes and they fit. And you look like, because normally he has to upsize it or do some kind of crazy things because they don't fit to size. His feet is, his foot's a little bit wider.
Well, a lot of golf shoes, like, they don't come in wide sizes. And what I like about SQAIRZ is you don't have to have two different sizes. So therefore, you don't have to have an 8 and an 8 wide. This shoe absolutely fits somebody that has a non-wide foot and then somebody that has a wide foot. And that's what I like about this.
Yeah, because I'm a regular foot, and I wore them perfect. I love the way I feel.
They
so
form around your feet, and your feet just stay, and it's your feet stay in a shoe the way it's meant to be stayed in a shoe. And that when you're flat in the shoe, right, nothing's being squeezed. Your foot is not being squeezed, and when you make that swing, your foot is not sliding in the shoe where there's room. If you move your foot, you're moving the shoe.
And what I tell you, Biggs, those are the first and only shoes that when I golf 36 holes in a day, I am so trained and have to switch out my shoes.
Right.
And I did it. I switched out I took off my SQAIRZ. I changed my socks after 18 holes. And I was like, no. After the second hole, I went back and put my SQAIRZ back on and finished. And after that, I've never changed them during my 36 holes because why would I want to lose comfort? In the beginning, I'm like, I don't want to sweat. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And my mind said, change your shoes, change your sock. I went right back. I went right back to it. And those SQAIRZ socks that you have with them fit perfect. I love the socks.
Yep.
Yeah. It's quite a system between the socks and the shoes. And, one of the things that we looked at was the interaction of the socks, the shoes, and the comfort and the pressure points in the bottom. But you know what? I do want to say that this journey since we met on the 21st, it's been great. And I get emails all the time. I had a gentleman email me the other day. He was an 18.6 handicap about 2.5 months ago. He's now down to an 11.5. I had a gentleman in Arizona who's 70 years old, shot 69 in a senior club championship.
Wow.
I had a guy just yesterday who has never broken 80 in his entire life, changed just the shoes. That was it. Changed the shoes a month ago and went out yesterday and shot 75.
I got 30 seconds here, and I just want to, and I'm part of that success story as you're hearing from other golfers because I'm in the league every Wednesday for Spark Golf here in New Mexico. And I started off as a 9 handicap. And now this has been over 4 weeks. I am now a 5 handicap for 9 holes.
Yep.
And I can prove that. I could prove that because I have the documentation from when I started.
I know. I see it. I see it.
You see my snapshots. Yeah.
Yep.
And
I've seen it. I've seen his play difference in it when he uses the shoes. So yeah, I mean, I know it for a fact. You can't find. I mean, I haven't been able to find a better shoe. You know what I mean? Depends what you want, how you want. If you want to improve your game, start at your feet.
The only thing we need is more color options.
That's precisely why Sir Nick Faldo joined the team, is because, he's tried thousands of golf shoes. Well, maybe that's an overstate, thousands, but a lot of golf shoes in his career, and he finds this to be the best he's ever worn.
There you go. We got to get Nick Faldo on the show, and we'll reach out to him and get him on to talk about his partnership and what his thoughts are about SQAIRZ Shoes. But all of us can share some stories with Nick Faldo. Nick Faldo can share some stories with us as well. But listen, SQAIRZ is the first golf shoe dedicated to performance and comfort. Listen, they launched in 2020. Its line of shoes was engineered around the patented SQAIRZ toe and other performance innovations that promote proper positioning, biomechanics, comfort, balance, and stability, helping golfers realize better accuracy and create more torque for greater distance. For more information, you can visit SQAIRZ.com. That is SQAIRZ.com, or you can connect with them on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Once again, Sir Nick Faldo partners with SQAIRZ, and if Sir Nick loves SQAIRZ, it's hip to wear SQAIRZ. Robert Winskowitz.
That's mine. Billy did that.
Robert Winskowitz, thank you so much for joining us here on Biggs Golf Talk. We'll be talking soon, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
More Biggs Golf Talk coming your way right after this. A golf ball that performs for you. The Encore Avant 55, hot off the tee, a formulated core that delivers more energy and utilizes soft cell technology to achieve ultra-low 55 compression. This blend of innovation and simplicity provides more distance and greater feel. The Caliber, maximum accuracy. A patent hollow metal core creates significant rifle spin while reducing side spin, allowing the ball to travel along a straighter trajectory. The Encore Elixir Tour Ball, hot list winner. The premium cast urethane cover delivers a soft and pure feel off the club face and gives the Elixir ultimate greenside control, durability, and unmatched putting performance. Be sure to check out their combo packages and sign up for the loyalty program. Gift cards are also available. For more information, their website is www.encoregolf.com. And be more with Encore.
Golf Dots is a unique, high-resolution ink transfer to personalize your golf game. Golf balls, golf shoes, clubs, Golf Dots can personalize it for you. Golf Dots conforms to USGA rules and doesn't alter the trajectory of your golf ball. Tour proven on all major tours, Golf Dots is designed and made in America. Many styles to choose from that will fit every golfer's personality. New styles are being released on a regular basis. To order your Golf Dots, visit www.golfdots.com and enter promo code BIGJOHN15, that's Big John, BIGGJON 15 for a discount on your Golf Dots. Golf Dots is available in many golf shops, such as the PGA Tour Superstore. The website for Golf Dots is www.golfdots.com. That is golf.dots.com, or call 847-829-4238. Personalize your golf game today with Golf Dots.
Hey, this is Boxer Shorts, and I've got some big news. Biggs Golf Talk is now on iHeartRadio. You can download their app for free or go to iHeart.com and search for Biggs Golf Talk. And make sure while you're there that you favorite us so that you'll know when we're on. Join all the other millions of listeners on iHeartRadio and listen to Biggs Golf Talk. We're the best. Right.
Teeing it up on number 10 here on Biggs Golf Talk, and this segment is sponsored by Scorpion 21. Feel the sting by visiting Scorpion21.com. Oh, if you're a dad out there and last weekend was Father's Day and you received your Scorpion 21 apparel, you are definitely going to make your friends feel the sting. And if you didn't get your apparel in time, head over to Scorpion21.com as they have apparel available for you. Bill the Golffather Cuevas and Big John Vic back with you here on Biggs Golf Talk on Native Family Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all your Amazon devices. Bill the Golffather Cuevas, I'm telling you, when we have a big heart when it comes to charity, and obviously the Folds of Honor being one of our number one charities that we support amongst others. But when we have friends that support a certain charity. And on Facebook, a good friend of the show, we love her to death. We love her husband, and we love Team Gomez, as most people do that know them. But Denise Gomez posted something about a foundation out there called Military Support Foundation. And after doing some research and everything else, I told Denise, I said, hey, you know what? I think it's a good idea if we have this foundation on the show.
Yep.
Denise made the connection with Angie Antilia, and she's joining us on Zoom right now on the Zoom line. And Angie, first off, what's your background and why did you start the foundation?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. The military has always held a special place in my heart. My dad served in Vietnam, and just some conversations with him when I was younger, he never received any care packages. And so I would always think as a teenager, how can I change that for those that are currently deployed? What could I possibly do? And so I went back and forth with myself so many times about, I'm a civilian, what can I possibly do on my own? And so I finally reached out to my cousin Lisa. Her husband is in the Army Reserves out of South Carolina. And I said, do you have anybody at the base that would be willing to talk to me and give me information on a unit that's deployed so I could start sending care packages to them? And sure enough, she got me a name and a contact and started communicating. And before I know it, I had a name and address of the battalion commander that was currently stationed in Kuwait. And so it was a week before Easter of 2014. Quickly put together a package to send them with Easter eggs and candy and things like that, and put a little note in there that said, I'm so sorry, this isn't going to make it to you in time. Because what I understood is it takes weeks to get care packages. And so I had quickly put it together, put the card in there that said, sorry, it's not going to make it to you in time, but we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for your sacrifices. They don't go unnoticed, and sent it off. I received a letter shortly after that from him, and he actually dated it the day of Easter and said, believe it or not, we actually received that care package yesterday. And so I'll get emotional a bunch during this interview, but I just remember crying and being so excited that they actually got it. And it's right in their day for Easter. So ever since then, 2014, we've been doing our best to send care packages overseas.
Can I just say? Can I just say I'm the only crier on this show. I cry a lot. I get emotional.
Don't let him fool you. He never cries, but when he does, it's legit. He's not a crier. I'm the crier. I'm the sensitive guy. I'm the sensitive one.
But Angie, I share your passion. As Bill the Golffather, and as a matter of fact, believe it or not, a foundation by the name of Folds of Honor brought Billy and I together as brothers. And obviously years later, here we are together on Big's Golf Talk. He's my absolute best friend, my brother. But it is amazing when kind gestures like that,
absolutely,
and you send stuff like that, and they receive it, and sometimes you hear from them, and sometimes you don't.
Right.
But to know that they have received it is just a warmth in your heart and in your soul. That's and
exactly.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the thing is that I've seen other organizations attempt to do what you're doing.
Yeah,
and like on the satellite, there's where I'm at in Florida, we have a satellite post office, and in that post office, every time I go, they keep their boxes there. And it says support a troop, grab a box and make it. So it's like the job is like halfway done, but not really halfway. So I've seen those bags sit there. And every time I go there, there's just as many. So I'll grab a box, I'll pay for it because it's the large, whatever you can fit in the box and pay for. And while it's great that it's there where it's at, it doesn't get seen. So they go stagnant and they just sit there, and you see the same boxes. So what I do is, because I'm bad like that, I always go to the bottom. I always yank the bottom box out because I just want to be a rebel. I don't want the box on top. I want the one on the bottom. And I do it that way. But what you do, you're doing it from start to finish.
Yeah.
You're gathering items. You're taking and I want you to tell us about the items that you're looking for. You're acquiring money. There's so many different ways people can help your organization. And I want you to explain to them from the beginning what's your first process all the way through the end when you send those packages out. Because you do the whole thing not by yourself, but as an organization, you do the whole thing from start to finish.
Correct.
Yeah.
So basically what I do is, because I'm not really affiliated, I am now, and I'll let you know that later,
yes.
But is word of mouth. A brother, sister, friend, cousin, whoever's deployed, I'm always being out there. Hey, if you have anybody, please let me know. I want to send care packages to them. And so once we get that name and address, we start. I already have some inventory, obviously, and that I keep of toothpaste, toothbrushes, beef jerky, lip balm, just the things that we take for granted that they just love to have that stuff. And so once I get the name, the address, collect some items, I already have boxes that I have shipped to my house. So I pull one out. Depending on if it's a special occasion, if it's a holiday, then we try to decorate the boxes. For Thanksgiving, we're putting Thanksgiving type wrap, drawing Easter eggs, or not Easter eggs, excuse me, turkeys, whatever on the boxes. And for Christmas, we decorate it with stencil or utensils and all that stuff. And so then we send it off. And the part about it that I love the most is that packing part, because I get to pray for them and think about them and where it's going. And so that's my favorite part about it, is just thinking about them and hoping that they return home safely to us.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, my daughter's been deployed 5 times. She's still active. She actually just left Florida. She was stationed in MacDill Air Force Base, even though she's Army. But she used to go to Orlando to do her, the weekends over there in addition. But she's in Minnesota now. She does logistics for them, but she travels all around the country and outside of our country, visiting the troops and handling the movements and stuff like that. But we also, Biggs and I, we're also part of Business Grip Ministries, which is golf along with faith and everything like that. So we have every Wednesday, we have our prayer group that we have. So I'm going to make sure that we pray for you and your group and everything that you're doing, because, this is what we want. This is what me and him, the reason that we joined forces is because that's what we want. We want to spread these words of love, and we do a lot of charity, and he knows, and we do a background of what we're going to do. An organization, Folds of Honor, 91% of every dollar goes to the actual people and the scholarships. We did 18 for Life in 1 week, and they just sent out $52,000 in one event. Wow. We did the stuff with them. So we're going to make sure that we pray for you. And we're one of the few guys that we talk about all the time. We kind of rock the boat a little bit, because in the beginning when we talked about faith and everything like that, people were like, you can't do that. But then we figured it's our show. We can do whatever we want. We can pray. He knows we don't care. We have people praying. That's what we're about, man. Yeah. That's what this world needs. We're forgetting those grassroots of what we brought up and how to help others, and everything's me. And that's not what it's about. It's about helping others. These people are giving up their freedoms for us.
And Billy, one of the things I want to bring up is our country needs more prayer. No matter how that looks like. And I'm not anybody to judge anybody on what God they pray to or whatever the case might be, as long as you pray. Yes. And I think not only does our country need more prayer for our own country, but what Angie's doing, pray for what Angie's doing, and pray for the soldiers and the people that's defending what our freedoms are to be able to pray in this country. Yeah. I mean, there's countries out there, you can't just drop down to a knee and pray. You can't just bow your head to pray. Yeah. There's limitations and there's restrictions and all that stuff. We live in the United States of America, where at any given, and I'm not going to sit here and preach, because I mean I can, but at any given time, whether I'm out fishing or whether I'm out playing golf or whether I'm doing a radio show like I am today, if I wanted to pray right now, I can sit here and say, let's pray, and not worry about being convicted for it.
Yeah.
You know?
There'd be no repercussions for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if somebody doesn't like us, you saw when you got dinged on Facebook because everything was prayer, and people didn't like that and found it offensive. And I'm like, well, then don't follow me. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you don't like God or you don't care about God, that's your opinion. I don't force my will on anybody. I'm here because I love people. I want to help
for many
people.
years, I mean, when I was jocking music in Chicago, you couldn't bring up God because of offending a certain religion or whatever the case might be. Now I own this show, so guess what? Kiss my ass, because I can talk about God if I want to talk about God.
And you know what, Biggs? If because we deal with so many different aspects of the military part about it, think about the people. She gets emotional. Yes, Angie, it's okay to be emotional.
Yes, absolutely. We love you for it because it shows. It shows your passion. It shows your heart.
You care. But the impact. And the first thing when I saw the story, the only thing that came to my mind is because we do a lot with the 22, and the fact is that 22 a day are taking their own lives, and
probably more now because of what's going on in our country.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But when I saw that, I was like, you know what? If that one package can save one of those 22 a day that we're losing, do you know the impact that has when that package comes when you're not expecting it? There's not a lot of people that are even thinking about that. I thought about it when my kid was deployed. We wanted to send care package, so it was different. But not everybody had that access. So yeah, we threw in a bunch of stuff, and you distribute it how you want. But this is a total surprise, which is totally. I think it brings it to a different level.
And Angie, just think about this. So you send this package, and one soldier receives this package. Just imagine, you have now maybe just prevented that 22nd person. Now that person still has a father, that person still has a brother, still has an uncle, still has a husband, a boyfriend, whatever the case might be.
Somebody cares.
And just by that package.
Yep. And we see it, Biggs. You see it every day with our friends that have, the horse farms and all this stuff, trying to save their comrades that they've fought with. They know. I mean, so we hear the stories, unfortunately, and I've heard my kid's story, which it troubles me that she had to live that.
Right.
But stuff like this, that's why we want to bring attention to people like you that are doing it out of the kindness of the heart and want to give back. And we have people like, oh, I don't serve. You know what? When your dad was in the military, you served. And that's what people don't understand. When my daughter was in the military and she did those 4 or 5 tours and kept going and leaves the country without me even knowing about it, I indirectly serve with her, because when she goes, I go. My heart goes with her. Mm-hmm. I suffer just as much when she's gone. If something happens, and the thought of something happens, it is destructive to any family having to deal with that stuff.
Let's get back to Angie here, Bill. And we're here, sitting here preaching, and I can go on and go on.
We're going to have her back on again. That's what the problem is.
Here's the thing: we want to get the information out there now.
Yes, let's get it out.
I know that you guys are looking for donations. We want to get the information how people can donate. Also, any planned events that people can participate in, or people can volunteer, people can donate to, and all that stuff. So let's go to the first questions. How can people donate to you and your foundation?
You can go to my website, which is www.militarysupportfoundationinc.com. And there's a donate tab there. And it gives you different options. It gives you the PayPal option if you wanted to pay to donate monetarily. But it also has where you could pick the list of items that we collect. And then also we have a drop-off location here locally in Fort Myers where we're at to actually bring items if should they choose to, or if they want to throw it in the mail to me, and then I can box it up and send it.
And one of the things I want to point out, too, just because she's in Fort Myers, Florida, does not mean she only concentrates on Fort Myers, Florida, or Florida military personnel. No. She concentrates on national, and to be honest, nobody really knows where these our soldiers are from, and we just want to send a package out to a soldier, and once that information is known to Angie, that she wants to make sure that package is sent to. Doesn't care about where they're from. All she knows is they're defending our freedom, and then that's what's important.
Really.
I actually just picked up a name and an address of a new mom where the husband is deployed or the fiance is deployed and he hasn't seen the baby yet.
Oh, my
God. And she's located in San Diego, California. And so we're currently this week putting together a package for her just to uplift and encourage her until he gets to come home and see the baby.
Absolutely. Now, what about events? Will you be hosting? I know with the pandemic, that's events right now are almost just on hold for any kind of foundation or any kind of organization out there. But how can people find out more information about events? Will you have any upcoming events that's coming up that you may need volunteers or participants, donations? How can people find out more information about that?
We don't have anything currently because of COVID. We did have some that were scheduled the last couple of months. Obviously, had to been canceled. But as those events come up, I always post on my website either pictures and things like that to promote the events, and also on Facebook and Instagram. We post any events that we're having. As far as packing parties, we try to have those as much as possible. But again, those are because of COVID, we can't have that many people get together. So right now, I just try to do what I can with the small group that we have. We also help with, we partner with the USO because of the fact that their closest branch to us is Tampa. We take care of our local U.S. Coast Guard and the Armory stations. They have special programs that they do with MacDill Air Force Base. And so they basically mimic those programs down here. And so we do book bag. We're getting ready to do a book bag donation drive to fill the book bags for the kids with school supplies. And then at Christmas, we'll do what's called Operation Stuff a Stocking and give presents for the local kids.
Awesome.
While she was talking, Biggs, I'm looking at her list of the stuff that she's looking for.
Yeah.
Beef jerky, sunflower seeds, cookies, granola bars, and stuff like that. And I'm thinking the whole entire time, we have to reach out to some of our people.
Yeah.
Because we have
want to make a connection so we could get you, in bulk and not just, one pieces at a time.
So that's what I'm thinking about. Because, we know a few people.
Yes.
That have
just a few.
Yeah. And the thing is, she's legit. She got her 501c3, so people can't be like, oh, well, where's that? Because, it's tough, but a lot of people, when they do something and they donate, they want to use it. And you can't blame them in today's world. But, hey, you got a 501c3.
Tax write-off is a tax write-off, and you know what?
And that's why I did get the 1C3 is because I knew that I would have a better leg to stand on, so to speak, to promote what we're doing and to get that support that we needed to keep us moving.
We're at the end of this segment, but Angie, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll have to get you on again when you have some events that's established and stuff like that. And I will commit this to you: if you have a golf event, count on Biggs Golf Talk being there to do a live show from there.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys so much for having me on the show. Thank you. It's nice meeting you both.
Angie Antilia joined us, president of Military Support Foundation Incorporated, and their website is www.militarySupportFoundationInc.com. MilitarySupportFoundationInc.com. Follow them on Instagram and also follow them on Facebook for updates and all that stuff. And please, folks, give them a hand and give them a donation. All right, more Biggs Golf Talk coming your way right after this.
Still using an old golf GPS watch? It's time to upgrade to ShotScope. ShotScope isn't just a golf watch, it's a fully automated golf performance tracking system on your wrist. ShotScope gives you access to over 100 tour-level statistics, get putting analysis, short game breakdown, even find out how far you're booming your driver. All data is captured automatically by the groundbreaking ShotScope golf performance tracking system. ShotScope, the ultimate golf watch. Find out more at shotscope.com.
You'll hit it squarer, sweeter, straighter, and longer. I love the look of them, and with the extra width, they're the most comfortable golf shoes I've ever worn. They're called SQAIRZ, and once you've played a round in them, you won't want to play another round in anything else. These completely new performance golf shoes will improve your stability and balance, and it's been proven in science. Balance equals power. There you go. To feel good and play my best, I wear SQAIRZ. Now you can wear them too. Just go to GetSQAIRZ.com to find out more. That's GetSQAIRZ.com.
Go for warmth. Go for beauty. Go for a show. Go for flavor. Go for perspective. Go for love. Go for tranquility. Go for thrills. Go for color. Go for good. Go for Puerto Rico. Go now.
For more information, the website is discoverpuertorico.com.
Golf talk for golfers on Big's Golf Talk. Back to Bill the Golf Father Cuevas and Big John Vick.
Welcome back to Big's Golf Talk right here on Native Family Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all your Amazon devices. This segment is sponsored by SQAIRZ Shoes. If Sir Nick Faldo trusts SQAIRZ Shoes, you should too. Expanding your game and lowering your scores. SQAIRZ Shoes, it's hip to wear SQAIRZ. Big John Vick, along with the Golf Father Bill Cuevas, back with you. And Billy, talking about the U.S. Golf Challenge and everything and all the qualifiers and obviously the pandemic postponing a lot of the national qualifiers, but just some of the qualifiers that is on the calendar and still open for registration. Ohio, Eagle Sticks Golf Club Qualifier in Zanesville, Ohio, July 12th. You are open for registration. Maryland, July 16th, 2 days before my birthday, at Suburban Club. Check them out on July 16th. On my birthday in South Carolina, Berkeley Country Club Qualifier, July 18th. July 25th, Bent Creek Qualifier in Missouri. Back in Ohio at Little Mountain Country Club in July 26th. July 27th, Riverside Country Club in Illinois in Riverside. You're open on July 27th. You're going to have your qualifier. July 31st, Polo Fields in Michigan. August 2nd, Golf Club of Indiana qualifier on August 2nd. Going back to Ohio on August 8th at Twin Run Golf Club in Hamilton, Ohio. August 14th in Hot Springs, Arkansas, Diamante Country Club. And then August 15th and the 16th, we are going to be in Lake Geneva for the big 36-hole major that's going to be happening in Lake Geneva. And then right after that, we are going to be in Myrtle Beach for the national championship. And Billy, this is a great tour because this is what happens. People qualify. They make it to the championship. They then play to make Team USA, and if they make Team USA, all expenses paid trip to the Glasson Club in Glasson, Ireland.
Yes, and they get a lot of goodies, too, because they got sponsors like Bag Boy, etc., and I'm pretty sure our next guest is going to be able to tell us everything that they get when they qualify to be part of Team USA.
First thing we want to talk about, though, with our listeners, and we'll bring it up with our next guest. He is with the United States Golf Challenge. Patrick Polson is joining us here on Big's Golf Talk. And Patrick, do you want to speak to the 2020 International Kings Cup? What is happening with the 2020 International Kings Cup?
Yeah, what happened? We had to, due to the situation, the 2020 Kings Cup that was supposed to be played in May at Castle Rock Golf Club ended up being postponed until May of 2021, and it'll be at Glasson Golf Club this time. We tried to reschedule for October of this year, and there was just too much uncertainty to do all that organizing, and we don't want to do it three times. So we ended up changing it to May of 2021, and Team USA will actually be sending two teams to compete against Team Ireland. Team USA 2020 and Team USA 2021 will be playing against an Irish national team, and we're looking forward to a great week of golf in Ireland. Actually, Team Italy was on board to play making it a three-team competition in 2021 until the COVID paralyzed the country this spring. And they're saying there's still an outside chance they would play, but 2022 is a little more realistic right now.
Essentially, COVID-19 paralyzed the world, just not the nation, but the world. Italy being one of those countries that was hit hard there, Bill the Godfather Cuevas. So I'm sure it's taken some time to recover, as it is here in the United States, as we slowly reopen the country and slowly get back to events. Yeah. We happen to postpone our event until still talking with some maybe just not the course that we had it at, but other golf courses, and see if we get it postponed and rescheduled. But our hopes is definitely 2021 will be at Four Hills, that country club there, and we were excited about having the very first national qualifier in the Southwest.
Yes, we were, but you know what? We were definitely looking forward to it and hoping that 2021 brings more. We don't know what's happening right now, but we know that 2021 and the rest.
We're having some audio problems with Bill the Godfather Cuevas, but I'm going to turn to.
We're going to make it as big as humanly possible. We got to leave now.
Bill, we're having some major audio problems with your audio. Patrick Polson, let me turn to you. One of the events that's going to be taking place, it's going to be a huge event, is August 15th and August the 16th in Geneva National with the Tito's 36-hole major, and registration is certainly open for that. Tell us all about that.
The Tito's Handmade Vodka 36-hole major is a two-player team best ball competition held over 2 days. The great thing about this event is that the top two teams in each flight will win a paid entry into the championship. Included with your entry fee, which is only $600 per team to play in. You'll get a Friday night pairings party, with free food, and Tito's Handmade Vodka cocktails. Saturday and Sunday, 18 holes each day, competitions on the Player and the Palmer golf courses at Geneva National. Breakfast before golf each day, and appetizers afterward. And after the second day, there'll be the awards presentation immediately after play. And the prizes will be awarded, and the announcements of the winners will be made.
As a matter of fact, people can actually head over to bigsgolftalk.net or .com. We have the registration link up on our website as well. Also go to usgolfchallenge.com to find out all information about these local qualifiers. Patrick, you mentioned earlier about a 3-team International Kings Cup. Does that mean the format is going to get altered? Is it going to be a different format? How is the format going to work with a 3-team competition?
Yeah, well, it's not official yet. Our original thoughts were to play each team against each team, hole by hole through the whole thing, and it gets kind of complicated and hard for people to understand. So I think we're most likely gonna go with what Europe does a lot, and they play a modified Stableford type format, so that you will get, each team will play. It doesn't matter if you're playing with a team from Italy or a team from Ireland or from Japan or whoever else is playing. If your team scores a par, you'll get X amount of points. And if you score a birdie, you'll get X amount of points. And then you just add all those points up for all 18 holes. So there won't be a match play, so to speak, where you close people out. You'll just accumulate points, and then the team with the most points at the end of the competition will be the winner.
Yeah, that's kind of how we work it with the Spark Golf League that I golf in on Wednesday evenings. And, for every par you get, every birdie you get, every eagle you get, And then also, your final score, if you actually, have a low score for the week, you get points for that too. But it's based on points. And, right now, me and my partner is in first place for the last few weeks, and we're pretty lucky to have that. But I kind of like that. I kind of like that format. International Kings Cup and U.S. Golf Challenge moving into 2021. We know kind of 2020, people are kind of limping by trying to get their national qualifiers registered, and people are very nervous about qualifying and participating in these events. Where's this U.S. Golf Challenge stand on what is happening with the COVID-19 issues and these qualifiers?
Well, we do recognize that it is COVID-19 is serious, and we ask that people, being out there or being at the grocery store or the gas station or wherever you go, there is some risk involved with that. So we just ask that people assess the risk that they're willing to take, and we are going to abide by whatever state that we're playing in. We're going to abide by their guidelines and recommendations set by the state or by the CDC. We want everybody to be safe. We want everybody to have a great time. So we're going to put health in front of golf, but we hope people see a mitigated level of risk that they're willing to accept, and they come out and join us.
Pat, is the U.S. Golf Challenge letting the local courses handle their own local rules as far as no rakes in the bunkers, pins not out of the holes when it comes to qualifying? Obviously, the USGC follows all USGA and RNA rules. Are you also letting the individual golf course dictate some of the local rules as far as safety goes when it comes to COVID-19?
Yes, all the qualifiers will be playing with the local rules that the course has adopted. There may be some states that are a little farther along in the back to golf phase, where there may be rakes and bunkers by then. But we're going to leave it up to the golf courses because they know, we don't know the rules of all the states. So
right.
We want them to act responsibly and do what they would do every day out on their golf course.
Essentially, we would recommend that they call the golf course ahead of time and find out what their local rules is prior to registering for any events. Is that correct?
Yes. We will try to, if we get any kind of information that seems that's out of the ordinary, we'll try to post it on the info section on the event portal that you can find through the website. Same place where you register. When you register for an event, there's an event info tab. If we have any relevant info that people should need to know, it'll be added on that page.
Pat, moving into 2021, where does the U.S. Golf Challenge, what direction are they going to be moving to in 2021 coming next season so people can actually prepare if they don't participate this year?
Yeah, the future model is we're going to begin shifting toward regional 36-hole events. There's likely still going to be some 18-hole qualifiers around the country that'll be mixed in, and those will be with the courses that we've built great relationships with over the years. The 36-hole events will be spread around the country, and our model that we have as we speak is in the 6 to 10 event range. So we'd be looking to do a northeast, a southeast, south central, north central, southwest, and kind of a northwest. And then we'd also like to do at least one winter event, possibly in the desert or in the south central over the winter. So kind of breaks up monotony of winter for the North states. They had some place to go and play.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're pushing for. We're working with Tito's to see what relationships they have with different resorts and good places to play around the country. And hopefully we can land some of those and put some decent rates out for the players.
Yeah, I think we had Bill the Golffather Cuevas back with us here on Zoom. We had issues with his audio. Hopefully he's got it fixed. And Bill, are you back with us?
I'm back. Billy, come back.
Bill, do you have anything for Patrick Posen?
I love you, Patrick Posen.
I love you too, Bill.
We are certainly excited about what the U.S. Golf Challenge has for the future, and BiGGs Golf Talk is planning on to be a part of it for a long term, and we hope that you guys will be a part of it too, as we will be broadcasting live, as a matter of fact, from the Tito's 36-hole Major and the USGC National Championship, and also count on BiGGs Golf Talk in 2021 being in Glasson, Ireland, and for the first time broadcasting outside the USA, Billy, and that's exciting.
That's huge.
That's not just huge; it's big.
Big with 2 G's. That's how big that be. Woo! That's bigger than Pat, and that's big.
Pat,
that's
is there any maximum amount of qualifiers that golfers can participate in if they don't make it and get that entry to the national championship? Is there a maximum amount they can participate in?
No, there's no maximum or minimum that you need to play in. Now, what we did do because of the COVID and all the golf courses having to either postpone or reschedule events, all our qualifiers for 2020 now are in about a 6-week window. The problem with that is that the number of qualifiers is fewer than what we had originally planned, and we're not going to get a large enough sample to have a good representation for Team USA 2021. So about almost 2 weeks ago now, we sent out an announcement that the national championship will be open to any 2-player team that meets the eligibility requirements set forth by the USGC. So anyone in the country can play.
I would assume, though, they would have to. Are we saying they would have to participate in a qualifier in order to qualify to have that invitation to the championship? No matter where they land in the qualifier, they can get that invite and it'll be open to play for them. Or is this going to be just open?
It's an open event now. What we're using the qualifiers for is if you play in a qualifier, for every 12 teams that there are in a qualifier, one of the winning team of that flight, for every 12 teams will create a new flight. The winning team in that flight, in that qualifier, will win a free $950 team entry into the national championship. So you can play to win a free entry into the national championship at these local qualifiers.
Well, there you go. That's fabulous, and what a great way to end the interview. Patrick Posen, any last words for the listeners out there, for the golfers out there that want to compete in the U.S. Golf Challenge?
Just to give a little background on the national championship, it's a 54-hole, 3-day, 3-format event. We played 1 day of best ball, 1 day of modified alternate shot, and then 1 day of single stroke play. There's 2 age divisions. The open division is age 54 and younger. The senior division is age 55 and older. A senior can play in the open division, but there has to be at least 1 team member under age 54. So at the national championship, there will be 4 flights in each age division. The 8 winning teams of their flights at the national championship are the teams that earn a spot on Team USA 2021. And they'll be the ones that get the expense-paid trip to play against that Irish national team at Glasson in Athlone, Ireland.
And Billy, get decked out of all USA gear, get a golf cart, apparel. Oh,
they have a lot of stuff going on for that Ireland trip. So yeah, that's a huge value right there.
Yeah, you'll receive uniforms. There's an opening ceremony dinner, a closing ceremony dinner. Bag Boy, that is a great sponsor of ours, provides Team USA and Team Ireland with customized golf bags. So the whole team will have the same golf bag.
Nice.
We have the King's Cup custom head covers that'll be given out to each person, and we're still working on adding some more value to the event for the lucky people that make USA.
All right. All you have to do is follow them on social media because they're very active on social media with the latest updates. Also, head over to their website at usgolfchallenge.com is their website. Also, you can click on the link at bigsgolftalk.net or .com. Patrick, looking forward to seeing you in the fall, my friend. Actually, in August, and still in the summer in Lake Geneva. So hopefully we'll see some of the Biggs Golf Talk listeners at the 36-hole major, Tito's Vodka 36-hole major. You must be 21 years of age to enjoy a great Tito's beverage, and friends don't let friends drive drunk. And also, when you buy Tito's, Tito's gives back. So there you go. usgolfchallenge.com or bigsgolftalk.net. More Biggs Golf Talk come your way with Biggs Product of the Week. We'll be right back right after this.
Have you ever seen a tour pro line up a putt with a dirty ball? No way. A clean ball rolls accurately, and accurate putts mean lower scores. The solution? Ready Putt. It's the putter cover reinvented. Ready Putt has a patented ball cleaner that's made to absorb and retain water. All you need to do is add water, and it remains wet throughout your round, giving your ball the perfect shine. It also has a magnetic surface to hold your ball marker and divot repair tool. Let's say you switch putters from round to round using a blade, mid-mallet, or large mallet. Ready Putt Original has you covered. Look, putting is hard enough. Accurate putts start with a clean ball, and a clean ball starts with Ready Putt.
For more information about Ready Putt, visit ReadyPutt.com. That is ReadyPutt.com. Clean it and sink it. The United States Golf Challenge, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, is searching for the country's best two-player teams to compete against an international field in the 54-hole Ryder Cup-style event, known prestigiously as the International Kings Cup. The International Kings Cup is played in remembrance of golf's greatest ambassador, Mr. Arnold Palmer, whose honesty, integrity, sportsmanship, and commitment to excellence represent the ideals for which the game of golf is known. The road to the Kings Cup begins with a national qualifier. Two-player teams compete in an 18-hole qualifier playing best ball using net scoring. For more information, to sign up, and to find a national qualifier near you, their website is usgolfchallenge.com. That is usgolfchallenge.com.
This is Big's Product of the Week. Each week, Big John and the Golf Father select a golf product to feature. Here is Big John Vick and Bill, the Golf Father Cuevas, with this week's Product of the Week.
Big's Product of the Week is sponsored by the U.S. Golf Challenge with Tito's Handmade Vodka. Team Tito's, you must be 21 years of age to enjoy a great Tito's beverage. And when you buy Tito's, Tito's gives back. So there you go. Tito's Handmade Vodka, U.S. Golf Challenge, the sponsor of Big's Product of the Week. Billy, this week, Big's Product of the Week, we have selected a company that I think it has probably the best yardage books out there. 3D yardage books and golf team yardage books and everything. My Caddie Pro, my Caddie Tour. Go to Caddie. And I love their Caddie books. You and I have a few of them. I have a USA white one, and the construction on it, the leather on it is just phenomenal. Don't you think, Bill?
Absolutely. I've loved watching him grow over the years.
Yes,
he's been growing. He's been that quiet guy that just been like coming up and past you, and you didn't even realize it. he's just grown so much over the past years with his books. I mean, they're top quality, affordability, and he's getting some big people behind him.
I mean, companies out there, you could get your logo and name on these books, and you know, I love the Philippians 4:13 book about Christ and God. You know, that's something that I might be actually getting online and getting. But a lot of he has quite a few, like King and Country Yardage book holder. You know, black, you know, leather book, and also USA themed books with flags and stuff like that. And you could get your name on it as well. And, you know, the PGA pros turn to go-to Caddie for their yardage books. And I don't know, Billy, I don't know if you've seen this, but the cross with the shroud on it.
Yes. And that fits into everything that we've been doing with in his grip. I mean, you saw my new tattoo. My new tattoo has my crosses on it in his grip and everything that we've been doing. So, yeah, I think it fits into us perfectly.
And, you know, when you have these yardage book holders, well, you got to have the yardage books themselves, and he supplies those in single packs and multiple packs. And if you're like me, Bill the Golffather Cuevas, and don't like to draw or can't draw, well, don't worry. He has you covered with some stencils that has fairways, greens, bunkers, even trees, water, and all that stuff. So he has a stencil that you could actually purchase and create your own holes and stuff like that. However, something new that Go-To Caddie does have, and we have invited the CEO, founder, and janitor here on Biggs Golf Talk, and Michael Carter is joining us here on Biggs Golf Talk. And one of the things that he has now started to do is 3D graphic yardage books. Michael Carter, welcome into Biggs Golf Talk, my friend.
Gentlemen, thank you for having me. Appreciate it. How's everything going with you guys?
Everything is going good. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're healthy. How you been getting through this pandemic?
Everything's going great. We're located up here in upstate New York, central New York area, and things are going pretty well. They're a little quiet and stuff like that, but as far as business is going, we've been cranking out for the last couple months, so can't complain.
Awesome. Let's talk about, I know you also became a partnership with the Nota BiGGs Third Championship Tour, providing, you know, the 3D books, but let's talk about the 3D books that you have come out. Tell us what it's all about.
Yeah, basically, we started back right around the first of the year. We started doing course guides for some local courses with 3D sketches with greens, fairways, and stuff. They're all high graphic and stuff. And then we kind of spread out a little bit around the country. We started advertising them, and we started doing some different courses like the Greenbrier, just a lot of courses out there. And it seemed like around 80% of our courses were actually private courses. So we're doing these course guides for these courses that course guys that have no ads in them, because they really wanted, their books to focus on the course, itself instead of the advertisers. So from there, we kind of streamed off of that and actually started making yardage books where players could actually use these yardage books. And what's kind of nice about the 3D yardage books is that they're really simple, right? So it has a 3D graphic. It has a large green up on the top where you can actually draw your breaks and slopes and things. But unlike a regular yardage book that's printed in black and white and has numbers all over the place, ours are in color. They're in 3D. They have all the bunkers and they have all the yardage from any tee box to the beginning of the bunkers to the end of the bunkers, clearing distance, hazards, and into the center of the green. So it really helps out a lot the average player that wants to be able to play quick and still have that that yardage book technology right in your hands.
Well, I guess that what I want to find out. Okay, I'm looking at the site because you have a lot of stuff here new. You have different types of regular holders. You have some nice fake ones that I saw, which are incredible. You got regular holder specials. You got custom logo ones. You have a plethora for every single one that anybody can ideally want. Like Biggs has said, I've seen the King and Country, which is really, really nice as well. These miscellaneous books. So they would have to go on the site, and they'll go like I'm on there now, and they can collect. So you have 1, 2, 3. Oh, you even got Innisbrook. That's one of my favorites. So these books, of course, do they have options where they can order those books and do that like a combination? Because I'm going through all the stuff on the shop now. Do you have the combinations where they can do that? Where they'll get the actual thing with one of your fancy yardage book holders?
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. We do have the 3D yardage books, and then we have a regular course guide. If a player wants to order a course guide of a certain course, say they're going on vacation with their buddies, and they're going to play at a course that they've never played before, and there's 4 of them or 8 of them, and they want a 3D course guide or yardage book of this course, they can actually contact us through our website, and basically they can just order this course guide, and we'll make it for them. And what's nice about that is that there's a lot, there's other companies out there that actually make course guides like these that you may see in pro shops. I think we're probably the only company that will actually work with the one specific individual who is actually looking for a course guide, where they don't have to order 500, they don't have to order 1,000. We'll make just one book, and we just make one book for a customer. Probably a few days a week, right? We actually do maybe like 3 or 4 courses a week for these smaller courses. And what's nice about that is that we will approach the course that we actually made this course guide for the customer. And if the course decides that they actually want to purchase course guides, because we've already sketched the course, what we'll do is we'll actually go back and refund that customer who ordered that course guide. So we'll refund him the money, and because we're going to be making 1,000 of them or whatever for these customers for the courses, or 500 of them.
Hey, Michael, really quick, can you actually explain the difference between a course guide and a yardage book, the 3D yardage book? They're both in color, and maybe somebody might be confused. I think I know the difference. I think the yardage book is more of, you could actually place your own notes on it, but what's the difference between the course guide and the 3D yardage book?
Okay, so the course guide is basically something that you would actually walk into a pro shop and see. It'll have the fairway. It'll have a lot of the yardages from the tee box into the center of the green. Ours actually has a small green on the bottom of each page that actually shows the green depth. So each page is a single page. So each page is actually a single hole. And you can actually get that in a flip style book, or you can get that in a side-to-side book. The yardage book is actually twice as big. The course guide is 24 pages. The yardage book is actually 44 pages. So it's right about twice as big. And the difference in that is, instead of having a small green on the bottom of the hole of the fairway, we actually have a large green, and it's actually made in just a flip book only. So it has a yardage green on the top, and then the fairway on the bottom, and then there's a note area where you can actually take notes per each hole. So it's a bigger book. It fits right inside of a yardage book holder. It does conform with the rules of golf as far as size-wise and how big the green is up on the top. So it is something that you can use in tournament play.
We have about 5 minutes left here, Michael, and one thing I want to touch on was the Noto BiGGs, the 3rd Junior Golf National Championship, and the partnership with Go-To Caddie. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. We actually broke out into this 3D yardage book journey with the USA Kids Worlds and USA Kids Team. So we didn't partner with US Kids, but we thought, hey, let's make some yardage books just to kind of see how it would go over, as far as if any of these kids were looking for actual yardage books of these courses down in the Pinehurst area. And we had an incredible response as far as orders for these yardage books. And so we actually saw the tournament coming up for Noto BiGGs, and it seemed like that all really took part real soon. It didn't happen over a lot of time. And I know that they're partnering with the Golf Channel, and NBC Sports, which he works for. So we actually reached out to him and contacted him and to see if we could partner up and actually do yardage books for his championship, which is 144 players that's coming up in November, and actually do embroidered holders for him as well with the players' names on them. So So they agreed to that. We're going to get some TV time and stuff like that. And also in return, they said, why don't you make them for our regional qualifiers as well? So they actually have 31 regional qualifiers around the country that we're actually making yardage books for as well. So all those are available on our site. They actually have, I want to say that they have one tournament qualifier that's in Canada and one down in the islands as well. So yeah, I believe that there is a total of 31, and we actually have those on our site. We're selling for $25, and it's really a great price for those yardage books.
Well,
yeah, it looks like it. I'm looking at all they're going to St. James.
Yeah.
They got a lot of different things. Minnesota, Tennessee, Texas. I mean, everywhere. Verona, New York. It's a long list of qualifiers that
yes, there is.
Get into. So it's interesting. We got to find out
what a great way to actually grow the game, and we got to reach out to Noda and see if we can get him on to talk about this Junior Golf National Championship that he's trying to grow the game and offering this type of tour for the junior golfers out there. So that's a fabulous thing. It's a fabulous partnership. Way to go for you, Michael Carter, to reach out to him and say, hey, we want to be a part of it and all that stuff. But Go To Caddie is Big's product of the week, and Michael Carter has been our guest. Michael, how can people find out more information about Go To Caddie?
They can just hop right on our website, gotocaddie.com. That's GOTOCADDIE.com.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it, brother. Billy, that does it for our show here. But we need phrase of the week.
Let's make it hard. Go To Caddie.
You know what? I actually was preferred to use McWethy because obviously this show is being dedicated to Jim McWethy, who has passed away. He was the owner of Mistwood Country Club, and that gentleman was a big staple in the Illinois amateur golf scene and providing the amateurs onto his golf course, and really came into the scene and renovated Mistwood Country Club and opened it up to the public and all that stuff. We had the opportunity, as you heard, to have a conversation with him. You heard it in the opening of. So I am selecting McWethy as phrase of the week.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah. Next week we're gonna make it. I'm not gonna tell people we're gonna make, but maybe there's a hit.
There you go. Phrase of the week, McWethy. There you go. All right, for Bill the Golffather Cuevas, for Amanda the Golf Diva Robertson, I'm Big John Vick. This has been Big's Golf Talk. Visit us at our website at www.bigsgolftalk.net or .com. Until next week, everyone.
You matter.
Thanks for listening.